Greetings from Barrymore. This is the Commissioner, Jimmy Klein, of Sir Yes Sir. Today we are addressing Sir Yes Sir Kleinsasser Fantasy Football, the yearly awards. And as this season comes to an end, another successful and very fun year in the divisional format, Sir Yes Sir Kleinsasser Fantasy Football. And with the end of the season come the yearly awards. To those of you who will be granted some of the awards, congratulations. And for the rest of the crew, work a little harder, and you'll show up next year. Anyway, let's get on to it. The Fall from Grace Award. Obviously, this award goes to the team that turned around in a bad way, and the biggest bad turnaround this year was myself. Yours truly, Jimmy Klein, a.k.a. Christopher Forsman. I accept the Fall from Grace Award as my team, which is a perennial playoff contender, and I have made the playoffs every year. This year I did not, and in fact had an awful year. Finished with a 3-10 record. A horrible year, and I hope to be back next year. As far as the MVP this year, this goes to the player most valuable to his team. We try to stick with a team that makes the playoffs, and obviously who had a great performance. And this year, that award is going to go to Chris Johnson. He was ranked, according to my scoring system, he was ranked number 18 overall. But he was the best player on the Addy's Antics team. And he finished the season with 1,364 yards and 11 touchdowns. That's his rushing numbers. He also had 44 receptions for 245 yards and 1 touchdown. So 12 combined touchdowns for Chris Johnson, and we felt that he was most responsible for the success and eventual championship for Addy's Antics. The Welcome to the Club Award. This goes to a team which we've been able to do it, has never made the playoffs, and now this year made the playoffs. And not only this year he made the playoffs, but had a very deep run. He went to the championship. That goes to Matt Ferrante and his Puffin Painters, squad. He had never made the playoffs, never really had been much of a threat to do anything, and this year he made it all the way to the finals. And he actually finished the season quite hot. Ended up winning, 6 out of 7 down the stretch, and then obviously swept through the playoffs and got to the finals. So, welcome to the club, Puffin Painters and Matthew Ferrante. We move around to the Comeback Player of the Year. I think that's a pretty obvious choice in a lot of categories. And it's going to be Michael Vick. What a season he had. Obviously came back from his issues. Wasn't really used too much last year, and quite frankly, if you ask me, in the preseason, didn't look that good. I certainly wasn't impressed too much with Michael Vick in the preseason. I thought he, a number of bad throws, and he looked inaccurate. The confidence didn't look to be there. And I didn't necessarily believe in him, but obviously he had a big year. He was ranked 6th or 7th in my league, according to my scoring system. 21 touchdowns, 3,000 yards passing, only 6 interceptions. Also had 676 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns, which is pretty incredible. Also, I don't think he threw an interception. Wasn't prepared for this, but as far as Michael Vick's numbers, but he didn't throw an interception until I don't know what it was, week 10 or something like that. It's a great season for Michael Vick. The 9 rushing touchdowns and the 676 yards. Obviously, a great addition to 21, throwing touchdowns and 3,000 yards, only 6 interceptions. I don't know how many fumbles. I don't think he fumbled either until late in the season. So, moving around to the Sacco Awards. These go to, and this is kind of a tribute to the TV show The League on FX. The Sacco Award goes to the most disappointing player as well as disappointing team. As far as player this year, I think it's almost an obvious choice. I'm sure there's a few of them here and there, but we're going to give it to Brett Favre. The Sacco Award for the player goes to Brett Favre. You are the most disappointing player, and nothing personal, Brett. I mean, I'm a Vikings fan. I'm a big Brett fan, and nothing personal there. But I think he was the most disappointing player. I think if you ask the Tarks 10 team, I would probably, maybe the Viking part would have something to do with it too, but I think he would probably say that his most disappointing player was Brett Favre. And that team award is going to go to Team Buster. This award goes to the team that actually loses the championship game for the last spot, for the 11th and the 12th spot. And this was actually between myself and Team Buster, and I won. I don't know if either one of us was trying, but I was actually hoping that he wouldn't take the award since he had such a bad season. I didn't want to add to maybe some of the insults, but he does win the Sacco. If there's ever a trophy for that, he would have won it. A bad year for Team Buster, a team that was once in the finals for the league, I believe, just a couple of years ago. So very too bad. Just honorable mentions here. According to my scoring system, the best quarterback this year was Philip Rivers. That was on Bubs Buddha's team. He had 47-10 as far as throwing, 30 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. He was the highest rated quarterback in my scoring system. Highest rated running back was Arian Foster in my system. 1,616 rushing yards, 16 touchdowns, 66 receptions at a point per, and 604 yards receiving. 2 touchdowns there. So he was the highest rated running back, and the highest rated wide receiver is Roddy White. He had 115 catches, wow, for 1,389 yards and 10 touchdowns. So those are your top players there. Great season all around. Other notes here. Myself and the prodigy Steve Kramer are going to have to leave the NFL Sir Yes Sir division to make way for the new playoff teams. These are teams that didn't make the playoffs last year, the Puffin Painters, and the new team, Addy's Arsenal or Antics, whatever. And that actually takes us to the final award, which is Coach of the Year. And that does go to Brad Campanella for his first year in the league, and he got the bye week. He, obviously swept through the playoffs and beat the Puffin Painters in the finals pretty handily. So, honorable mention runner-up there is the Just Incredibles. They had a 12-1 season. Their only loss, I believe, was to the Brian Coos team. So, Coos makes the playoffs again. Congratulations to him. Tarks 10 makes the playoffs 2 years in a row. I believe that's 3 years in a row for Tarks 10. Just Incredibles makes the playoffs for his 3rd year in a row. Won the division and the whole thing. So I'm out of that division. I've been in that division now for 3 years, and I'm out. The Prodigy's out. So we're going to join the division with RDO and Bub, Team Buster, and Bri Riz. And the championship division next year will be made up of your champion, Brad Campanella, Addy's Antics, Tarks 10, my dad, John Forsman Jr., Just Incredibles, Justin Blake, Puffin Painters, Matt Ferrante, Brian Coos' team, which was the Chelsea Blues. And I guess that has to be everybody. So All right, guys, we'll see you next year. Again, this was Sir Yes Sir Football. Great year. For those of you who will be playing the baseball, we're going to go Dynasty format there, and we look forward to a great season. We'll see everybody real soon. Have a great winter, and stay safe and warm.